Hansi Iodike joins me live on set for today's Mental Health Matters, and today's topic, a very interesting one. Johansi says, and hear this, there is no such thing as a social whine. Well, I want to hear Johansi elaborate on this one, because I know you have your social whine, your all-inclusive whine, and then you have your cooler fete and your anything goes whine, your last lap whine. But you know what? Johansi, I want you to break this down for us and unpack this very interesting topic this morning. Welcome, Johansi.
Morning, Jason, and morning to everyone viewing. Now, the fact that you could even break down different types of wine is my point. So let me set a little context first. We in Trinidad, we speak high context language, meaning we say one thing and then have different meanings based on who you are. So let me ask you first, right? And have no right or wrong answer. What exactly is a social wine?
Social wine is a hoity-toity, is a prim and proper, yeah. You know, a social wine could be like a chorus. Chorus, no verse, don't be, when the DJ mix out, you gotta stop the wine, or you just, you know, a little thing, a little shake. You understand? A little, you plant your foot and you know, it's not that kind of wine. It's just, you know, hey.
All right, I take in what you're saying. Now, and part of the context of setting is most times a social wine that you have with someone, right?
Yes.
So I'll give you the top reasons I got on why people do a social wine, right? So one is when you don't really want to wine with somebody. Right? Two is carnival social etiquette. So you see the person, you know, normally outside of it, you might get them a hug, a kiss, something like that. But instead, you get them a social wine. Also, to avoid social awkwardness with that person, because you don't want to refuse them the dance, but you know, you give them a little something.
So that's a chorus. You get a chorus.
They get a little something.
You get a chorus. But from the time you go into a verse now, we keep it pushing. You know, you're not really, you don't want to hold on to it then.
Right, and I'll give you one more, is that the two people really like each other and want to steal a wine, but in a relationship or present with someone who they like.
Oh, so so that's thief in a wine, you want to say.
Right, so I'll give you some of the top reasons I got from people.
Because, you know, within the carnival experience, within the party experience, there's a whole ecosystem there. There is so much at play and so much in terms of the dynamic, the eye contact, the body language, the reading of the moment, the tune. Sometimes some people waiting for that moment. Some people move a bit aggressive, and obviously with that aggression, I guess you could get embarrassed. And a lot of times men are the ones that really, you have to read the temperature, read the water, read the current. Because most of the times, well, I mean, most women now, not all, but more aggressive compared to back in the day, because we would be the ones to ask for the dance. So it takes a lot. It's a real understanding of the space.
Yeah, it's an interesting conversation, excuse me, because we are social creatures and it have no clear dynamics, we have to be careful to what we call wine, social wine, etc. Because most times when we say social wine, you know, it's no big deal. And I'm using it in a couples forum now. Sometimes it's no big deal. I just get a person a little social, a little something like that. But I've realized that it causes a lot of problems. It causes a lot of issues in relationship, because what part of your body you use with the social wine, what part of their body they use, how long it lasts, which song it was. And even sometimes, especially right after carnival, sometimes when couples come to me, the person could remember, well, I remember when you danced with so-and-so, you danced this long, or you did it this thing, or you went down a little too low. So the fact is, if the person could remember that, means that they have an issue with it. And then I asked some people to respond honestly, and you know what they said? They said they don't mind the spouse, the girlfriend, boyfriend, etc., giving somebody a social wine, but they prefer if they didn't do it.
My question is, could really a couple, especially, and again, couples, they will have different phases of the relationship. You'll have the people who just meet, you know, it's honeymoon phase, everybody excited, deeply in love. They have those who will be together for years who might not even business if somebody gives their spouse a wine or two. But people who play mass together in the band, like literally husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, sometimes people end up in a real quandary based on what you're telling me here.
Yeah, actually, Jason, just based on the clientele I get right after Carnival, it's not sometimes, and it's most of the times. And the few couples that I know, they have an agreement. They know exactly what is going on, so they speak about it before they know what the rules and not rules, etc. Now, putting rules doesn't mean restriction, but in terms of boundaries and respect for each other. So I'm saying this because sometimes your idea of a social wine is not somebody else's idea of a social wine. And if you're going into a party, even for your own mental health and your etiquette, if you're going with someone, whether it is a group, a crowd, you and a spouse or boyfriend, girlfriend, you all at least be on the same page.
Have that discussion before.
Yes.
A game plan.
Yes.
Yes, true, because there are many who play together. They might play in the same band, but different sections. There are people who literally either, whether it's on purpose or it just happens by design, they lose the spouse. You literally just go somewhere else in the band and you play a mass. But I guess the challenge is if your spouse or that person you're with, they come and they see you in what's not deemed a social wine, where you plant your foot and you're really having a time, and sometimes the interaction could be awkward. The drive home could be weird. I like the advice. You're basically saying have a game plan. Talk about this in advance.
Yeah, at least talk again. It don't have to be rigid, but at least you all know what's going on, because it's a strange thing. You can't really be platonic. Putting your behind on somebody is not really a platonic interaction. Putting your front on somebody is not a platonic interaction. So if you're doing it, I mean, if you're single, right? There are different rules. But if you're with even a group and a crowd, because yes, there are dynamics with a couple, but even in a group, sometimes people go in a group and let's say a stranger come in the mix, and whether they're giving a wine or taking a wine, sometimes how it occurs could be disrespectful to the group or bring a certain level of attention to the group that they may not want.
If the social wine, or you give someone a social wine and they're looking to really hold on, they're looking to stick on, to really follow you, they come in twice, 3 times, I guess you just what? You physically remove yourself from the space?
Well, the thing is, if someone approaches you for a wine, a dance, and you don't want to give them it, I say don't give them it. Don't give them a pity wine or a social wine, right?
Pity wine, oh God.
Right? And this is both male and female dynamic, right? Because you're inviting something to you that you don't want in the first place. But let's say, okay, you wanted it, right? And the person, they gave them a social wine. Now again, I don't know how long a social wine is last. I don't know if it's a half a song, a whole song, a chorus. I don't know. That's depending on your comfort level, right? And then the person comes again. You could politely tell them, well, no. Right? Yeah. And again, we could talk about in our next episode some carnival etiquette. But I'm saying be careful, because the fact is, once you invite somebody into an intimate area, and I'm saying it's intimate because yes, we in close quarters in a party, but remember, even you're behind and you're front, that's an intimate area either way.
I want to stick up in there, and I want us to continue this discussion, because the rules of engagement changed over the years. And it's evolving every single year, and it's becoming aggressive in some ways, very bold, and women also taking the lead in that regard. It's not a scenario alone where just men will come up and approach women, approaching man, and I've had scenarios where girls jump on me, and thank God I remember back on my knees and all that to hold people up. Girl, saddle me like horse. I mean, come on. So.
But Jason, you even have to accept, you could move.
I go through down the girl child, I can do that.
Who tell them jump?
I mean, I'd brace them, and say, I'd hold on, but you say, I'll stick it there, stick a pin for now, and let's continue, because we into the carnival spirit, we into the mood, and I love this one. Very important discussion. Mental health matters. Johan say IODK touching base with us. Let's pivot immediately into our world weather wrap with Colleen Hussein. He'll give us some of the international developments and then bring it back home. Colleen?